Hey, Aya and UC in the place to be. We're my convo queens from the front to the back, you know what I mean? Okay, Aya, what are we talking about today, girl?
All right, you guys, take two because we was live, but we wasn't live to the people. So today we are talking about pickmeism, the issue with pickmeism, and is there a place for this type of woman? And is it even worth being this stereotype or this trope anymore in this day and age?
Okay. So, on my end, it looks like we froze up. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties tonight, but we're gonna just bear with the Wi-Fi and whatever's going on tonight. Anyway, so like she said, I think that these days they have a new term for all types of old things, things that have been around for a long time. So when we talk about pick-meism, or I did a little bit of research and people were calling it pick-meisha and all different types of different names. And it's basically like what I gathered from what people were saying was a woman who is, seeking attention from, the opposite sex. And they basically want to be chose by any means necessary. When I think of someone, from the way that they were describing this type of person, it was like someone, I know you've all seen like maybe that one female that maybe on social media, and she's going on and on doing this sob story about how much she want a man. Oh, she want love. Like, where is everybody? When is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen?
Mhm. All right, you guys, I don't know. You see, kind of froze up here. But yeah, so you see those types on social media or out in the world, the ones that are just always attention seeking, but they're attention seeking, trying to get the attention of the opposite sex. So she's going to do whatever is necessary, whatever she has to do. She's going to typically, like the trope of the pick me, she got it all together, or at least on the outside, it appears that she has it all together. She has her hair did, her nails did, everything did. She is probably going on and on about things that she have, or I'm this type of woman, or any man would be blessed to have me because I do. And then she'll run down the resume of the qualifiers that qualifies her. Now she's interviewing her hypothetical guy, and she's going, I can cook more than chicken Alfredo. Let me stop, right? But she can cook, I can clean. I'm gonna do this, that, the third. I'm gonna rub your back until you go to sleep, like Jazzy said in that video. If y'all know, right? She's going to do whatever it takes. She is going to overexert and exhaust herself, and you don't have to give her anything in return but yourself.
Well, do you think that we all, as women and common queens, you could think of some of your situations as well, have been that pick me out at some point or another in your life? Um, you wanted this man to pick you to be his woman. So you went out on a limb to do everything that within your power that you thought that a woman is supposed to do to get this man to like you. And in the end, you ended up with boo boo on your face. I'm just saying, I think that I can honestly say I've been there before. I've been there
Mm-hmm.
before, but as you live, you hope that you learn. I mean, it is not always the case. Some women go through their whole lives repeating the same behavior and getting the same results. So, I would say when I think about the attention seeking woman, I don't know. I think it looks a little bit thirst trappish sometimes, the people who throw the thirst traps. I mean, but women don't always throw, men throw thirst traps too.
Oh, the guys could definitely be pick me's too. Now let's be clear. They could be. I used to see them too, like, oh, when I get me a lady, I'm a child. Shut up. Like I had to like be quiet, boy. If you don't go take that in the back somewhere. Go cry to Drake. Go. I don't know, but listen, they could be pick me's too. They could put out thirst traps, wanting attention from girls and ladies. And notice me. I'm single. I'm available. I'm fly. So they could do the same thing.
Well, I mean, this whole concept about pick meism, let's just call it what it is. You look desperate. Is it the
That's
desperate type? That's what it was called back in the day.
yeah.
Everybody try to make new words for old tricks.
Yeah, you're looking desperate. You're looking pretty thirsty. You're looking pretty parched. We would say, you know what, girl, maybe you should try stop being so desperate. I mean, that might get you in a fight. And now
It
saying
probably
pick me,
would.
calling a female a pick me might get you into a fight because it's an offensive term, even though she probably knows like you like girl, you're doing things that like what is it doing for you after you do and exert yourself and do all these things? Are you fulfilled truly on the inside? Or how is this guy treating you even? You like sometimes you could be chasing the most popular. I never like the most popular guys. You chasing the most, you trying to get the attention of the most popular guy in the room or at school, at the work, whatever, in your city. I'm from a small city. It's I guess it's multiple of them that you would say is, oh, they're popular. I could care less. But you're going after these guys trying to get their attention, to notice you out of a crowd of many, right? Because we already know the ratio. And they know the ratio too. See, they play the game too. And this is where I feel like it doesn't benefit you to be a pick me. It doesn't benefit you. If you're going to play the game, play the game. But it does not benefit you to play the game this way and think you're going to win. Like you see said, you're going to get boo boo in your face eventually because it's going to happen.
Well, I mean, it's a fine line between this new term, but as a single woman, I've realized that people have really turned um this dating scene into a true video game. Like it is so stupid. Like it don't have to be as complicated as they make it these days. Like that's why I was like, I'm just gonna fall back. God, if it's meant for me to have somebody, I don't know. Like I sent a little video to a couple of people, and I was like, I don't know where somebody gonna find me because honestly, this is some bull crap. So when I think about this, right, and I'm like, old school, people would tell you, like your mom, like I'm gonna talk about what my mother told me. Oh, the key to a man's heart is, to cook him a good meal. Of course you wanna what was that term that they're now saying is degrading? You want to be a lady in the a freak in the sheets and a lady. What
Streets.
girl, I saying it wrong. How I say you want
A
to
freak
be
in
you
the
want to
sheets,
be a
but a
freak
lady
in the
in the
streets and
street.
a lady in the streets right now. You're not supposed to say that either. You know, um but now it's like, okay, um, if you show off all your cards up front, you invite, you kicking it and you decide, I got a domesticated side. I can show you that I can cook, you know what I'm saying? I can keep a clean house. If you have children prior to that, I'm a good mother. Those things, it's almost like you can't show like that is no longer
You are frozen. And I wanted you to finish your thoughts.
Did I freeze up again?
Yeah. Yeah. So repeat your last thought.
Yeah, this connection is unstable. I don't know if there's a storm brewing or what. What I was saying was, being a very domestic type of woman nowadays is almost like taken for granted. It no longer seems to be on the top priority list in the dating world. And it's also taken for granted and almost used. So I was listening to a couple comments about, a couple videos or whatever about women who are pickies. It's like, you're sitting here and you're cooking and you're cleaning and you're putting yourself out there for this man to show off these skills. Like, I am this woman that you should choose me. I'm amazing. Now that is looked at as, you know, a pick me. That's what I was hearing in different comments. Now, I you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost as if, how can anybody in this culture these days really have any genuine relationship? Is it all just gonna be a game until you just get old and crusty and somebody just gotta be with somebody, whoever that last person is standing?
I don't know. I just feel like it is definitely a different day and age, but I just feel like when it comes to the pick meism and like these gender roles you was explaining, like we're doing these household duties. We're doing what basically our parents, like you said, raised us up to do and taught us. Take care of the home, tend to the kids, do the cooking, blah, 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 right? These life skills that you should have, these domesticated skills that you should have, right? But I feel like there was then a certain sect of women that did start to wake up and was like, wait a minute, because I could do all of this and more, and it's still not going to matter at the end of the day any effing way. He's still gonna be who he is, whatever he's doing, or he's still gonna cheat regardless, or I'm still not going to get treated the right way. Or so it's just that part of it, or why am I doing all this stuff for you but getting very little return? And so then it was the females who was like, you know what, F this. I'm not doing that anymore. Or females who woke up and simply said, you know what, y'all are not the freaking prize. Y'all not. Y'all are not the prize. I'm not in competition with no other female. I'm not going to put myself in competition with no other female for you. And then you have guys, and I was just talking about this with we was talking about a different topic, but I can still relate the same point. I feel like guys, so to speak, especially in our generation on up, because my oldest will tell you, like, she feels like the black dudes, guys, young guys around her age, right, in their 20s and stuff. She said they trash. She said they play games and they're trash. So she doesn't want to deal with it. I don't blame her, right? So I feel like our age group on up, it's like this manifestation that started brewing a long time ago before we even had a say so in anything. And now it manifested itself to the present day. And this is what we're dealing with when it comes from men. And the men are starting to be like, y'all treat us like we are gods. And there's a lot of these pick me-ish women that do. They treat them like they are prizes. They treat them like, I'm going to go to bat for this person. I'm going to put my cape on for this guy. I'm gonna I'm a battle it out with females over, and they know this. Men know that ratio. They know that they outnumber, or that women outnumber them. So I could have my pick of the litter. Who are you? So yeah, you better perform and juggle for me if you want my attention, or I'm going to go elsewhere. And so now they're just really bold and arrogant about that fact now, where they will flat out display that fact to you and let it be known that this is what it is. This is the playing field. You either gonna play my game or you're not.
You telling the truth. That is all true. That is facts that you are saying, Aya. I don't care what nobody say. You can say this is opinionated, but that is really the culture that we're living in right now. And it don't end in the 20s. You can tell your daughter it don't end in the 20s. It is just the culture of of what it is right now. So basically, I've seen this firsthand what I just described. Why is it now that, us women got to be sitting here doing juggling acrobatic moves to try to get you to pick me? Like, no. I will tell you right now, the tables have turned. Men expect you to chase them. They expect us
Mm-hmm.
women to chase them. They expect, like, yeah, okay, you can cook and so can she, and so can she. Whose meal
Mm-hmm.
is gonna be better? But guess what? They're not gonna cut off neither one of them meals because they're getting one Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And I mean, listen, I was watching this one podcast and it was so good. I'm not gonna shout them out, but I do enjoy their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about um how basically it's looked at now like, why would one of the girls on the podcast has said this, like, why would the men focus on one woman when you got all these women giving you everything you need? You
And
know,
he don't
like,
got to do nothing.
and you ain't got to do nothing. You don't got to take her on no date. You ain't got
Mhm.
to spend no money. Matter of fact, you can go and say, "Hey, you can go Dutch. We can go Dutch." Matter of fact, I don't even want to take you on a date because I don't know you like that. So let me try you out first. We can meet outside. You come sit at my apartment and Netflix and chill for free. You know, like, no, like there's no effort being required from us women. And we say like, okay, we got standards, but I will tell you, these men, some of these men, they will keep calling, keep trying, keep to see how, do you really got them standards, or can I break you down to where you get desperate enough that I could slide in there? And it's really a manipulative society these days. And I
Right.
feel like when we talking to women out here, we're not trying to be offensive, but come on, let's call a spade a spade. And when we call a spade, it's like, if you're jumping through hoops treating him like he's the prize, then what are you? What are you? Are you not a prize?
Right, because I could have swore we were supposed to, like, when we was kids, or wasn't it like, you are the prize, you're the female, you're the woman. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? You were
Hmm.
supposed to be the prize. Like, and that junk flipped. It flipped. Now, on a larger scale, society wise, like James Brown said, this is a man's world, baby. And so I
But it's
feel like
nothing without a woman or
it
a
is nothing
girl.
without a woman, right? But it's like, since that's the position that we're under, a lot of women, most women, because it's only a very small sect that are like, you know what, we're trying to break out of this system. But most women are still stuck under patriarchal standards and that societal system that says you are supposed to be underneath him. Child, baby, I like when the math don't math to me. The math don't freaking math. Like, y'all, is the math is not mathing. Okay, it just isn't. First and foremost, like, what took me down the rabbit hole. I think I told y'all this in a early podcast. Is my teenager was like, if we smarter than boys, how is it that they are in control? Like, how did this happen? And I'm like, you know what? I couldn't really answer that question. Like, I don't know. Cause I just was like, at the time, cause of ego, guys got ego, they got big egos, and you got to stroke it for them and whatever. But I still wanted to know too. So I bought books and stuff. I gave her a book to read. You read this one, I'll read this one, blah, blah. But long story short, y'all, like, the math ain't math in here. Like we said before, and like I told y'all before in the last podcast, in the womb, you start off as a female. And if you can't make the cut as a female in the womb, then you're a guy. Like, okay, go over there with those ones. And then
Okay.
from there, right, they develop at a slower rate than we do. That's true. That has always been true. I was just reading somewhere that little boys and stuff, they're more susceptible to learning disabilities and like disabilities like Down syndrome and things like that. Or we now know, at least in the Black community, you should know to be careful when giving your newborn baby boy, specifically, seriously, baby boys, shots, and their checkups and getting all those shots and stuff like that, because them shots can have an adverse effect on them more so than girls. I don't know
I
if
didn't
that's
know
set up.
that.
That's a whole different
I didn't
topic.
know that.
I don't know if that's set up or not, but that could be a bigger issue. But there's so many things. Guys aren't good at multitasking. They learn at a slower rate. It's like, when it comes to sexes, I would say yes, we're top tier. We are the top of the tier, and they are very low tier. Like, we don't, just like you said, they do little to nothing. They put little to no effort, and we don't even expect much from them.
You
We
know,
don't expect much at all. Not even a mother with her boys. That's why he could get coddled, and the sister had to do all the house chores, dishes, blah blah blah. But yeah, nothing's ever expected out of boy. Boys will be boys.
well, let me just say this. Okay. I am a mother of some boys. Okay. So I would say that we need men. Okay. I'm not that woman who's gonna sit here and say men are useless, they're nothing, we don't need them, because that is not true. That is
Mm,
not true. Okay. If we look back in society collectively, and we want to say that, okay, women can be the brains, they have the same behind every strong man, every successful man is a very strong woman that is pushing him, that is maybe helping him with his success. Well, guess what, it has always been collectively, like maybe us women, we do have ideas and we have different things, and men can be the muscle, and there are very intelligent men out here. Okay, not every man is some crusty busty playing a
yeah.
game type of man. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make that clear. And I'm not even trying to, because I am a mother to black boys, so I can't count them out. You know what I'm saying? What I can say is that um we do have a place in society. Women have a place in society, and men have a substantial place in society as well. And I can't answer baby girl's question about how did men become in power. Maybe it was because we knew that men, and this is a proven scientific fact, that they have more physical strength than a woman.
Mm,
Okay? They have more strength than we do. A lot of times in battle and fighting, they have the aggressiveness and the quick wit to act quicker than women do, because we always think about the babies, think about this, think about that. They can move without thinking about all that because they know we have that, so this is just my perspective on it. It's not a fact. However, I think that we both need each other. I feel like, yes, women can be the brains behind everything. We can push a lot of things, but there's a lot of manual things and labor things that, as a woman, I'm gonna talk for myself, I don't want to do. I just don't want to do it.
mm-hmm.
And those are the things that, some of those things are very influential in our society when it comes to, and listen, women can do just everything that men can do. Okay, they can. However, there are certain things like, when it comes to certain type of construct, there are certain types of professions that are still heavily dominated by men for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
you know and I feel that, when we think about certain things that we need, what I will say is that, with this pickmeism culture in us women, we need to have standards. And I know I keep saying this in every podcast, but it just all leads back to that. When you
Right.
have your standards, you're not going to sit up here and give more than you're getting, because guess what? The best relationships are reciprocal. What happened to that word? And why nobody use it no more?
Mm-hmm.
Reciprocity. Listen, I'm telling you, I won't ever get back into another relationship unless I got it. Period. And I know people sick of people saying period, but I mean
They
that.
don't sick of you.
Period, poo.
Well, listen,
I
wait. I agree with what you were saying, though. I agree with all what you say. I'm not saying, listen, don't be think like I'm not bashing guys, okay? Listen, I just want them to elevate. I just need some elevation out of them. I just need them to evolve, right? But everything you're saying is true, and I feel like they was once upon a time. There obviously are the muscle. They are the muscle. Like they're definitely more stronger than us, right? And in this, once again, just like she says, she keep on saying it. I know I keep on talking about patriarchy, but in this society, having the right type of guy next to you means status. It does, because it's like, once again, it's a man's world. So being next to the right guy means status and access for you if you're trying to get into certain circles, because that's just how it is. If you're trying to get over there and he got the key, then oh baby, y'all could be a power couple, because he gives you access, because he validates you, because he's the man. And not that that's
Oh,
fair.
you're right.
I don't want, like that. It isn't fair. It shouldn't be like that. The fairness is not fair that he's the access to you getting right there. Right. So they can open up doors for us and put us in spaces where we may not be. Just like she said, they can have certain positions. They can hold certain positions and incorporate that we can't get to or obtain to simply because he's a man. Like they can move and navigate through this world a bit differently than we are simply because of their sex. So yes, there's that involved. And I feel like when it comes to certain types, like when it comes to pick-meism and stuff, you also got to look at them and think like, what is she? What is she after? Because first of all, when it comes to relationships, everyone chooses and picks people for certain reasons because it's a benefit to them in some way. So maybe to her, the benefit to her is access. And some women are willing to put up with this in order to get access to that. And if that's her goal and that's her game that she running, like, listen, I know y'all think I'm over here being a bimbo and y'all think I don't have no standards or y'all think I don't care. I do care, but guess what? I'm getting over here and I'm getting access to this. Or I'm getting taken care of and I'm getting what I need from this guy. And I see a lot of them do that. A lot of them could be with wealthy guys. I'm pretty sure he's not the best guy quality wise as far as treatment goes and all this stuff. But if her goal is, I want to get taken care of and provided for so I don't have to go out here and worry, because at the end of the day, it is harder for women out here in society. And if you're a woman who don't have a degree or college educator or whatever, and you want to live a certain lifestyle, then you're going to have to probably put on that little pick Misha costume. You know, the best Fenty red lipstick stunner is my favorite shade by Fenty. Put your stunner lipstick on in your heel and go down to the cotton club and pick you one because he's gonna get picked too. He want y'all both want to get picked. He want to get picked and you want to get picked too. Y'all gonna pick each other.
They got chose tonight. They chose each other.
They
But
sure did.
I agree with that. Like, okay, well, but are we really okay, so if you being a pick me and your goal is that, oh, I want to get with this high power, high status man because I want to sit at that table, then maybe you get in your benefit. But the ladies, the ones who out here being pick me's for these
For less,
wealthy
for less.
for a piece of a man, of a piece of a piece, and he just you ain't benefiting at all and you are degrading yourself. Mm-mm.
But then there's this other side to pick meism to me that I see. I see it more online than in real life. It could be in real life. It's just that I don't be running around here in the streets, being like in circles and running into people or whatever. But that's what made me think of like we need to discuss this type of female, and how is she thinking or what's in her mind? Because I feel like some of these types of women also have internalized misogyny. And basically what that is kind of saying is she herself has submitted to the fact, just the mere fact that I'm a female, this is a man's world. That's just how it's gonna be. So I might as well get in where I fit in. We can't win. So it's no sense in me fighting for you or defending you, sis, because we gonna lose. We outnumbered out here in these streets. We not gonna win the fight. So I'm just gonna roll over here with them, and that's kind of where we're at with these Caucasian women and how they chose to vote against their better interests as women, thinking that voting against their better interests was going to get them protected, and it clearly did. It backfired, as we can see. So that's internalized misogyny, where you're going against your own sex group. We're talking about women, all for men, because you just want to go along with them because they're the better choice. They're the victors. They're the winners. So I'm just going to go over here. So I was on this post today. We all seen the post about Kevin Samuels. And, they finally got the autopsy back of what Kevin Samuels died of. He died of something very preventable. He died of hypertension. Hypertension and high blood pressure. Could have been avoided. They found 3 things, I think the article said, in his blood, which was the medicine he was taking for high blood pressure, caffeine, which he was a Red Bull fanatic, so he probably was drinking Red Bull, and another medication for hypertension, which that's a bad combo if you ask me, to mix caffeine with high blood pressure, and that's just a wild combination. But that's what they found. So I was on a post and I'm reading the comments and I said, well, it's such a shame. That's sad that he died from something so preventable. And I said, too bad he didn't have a wife or she possibly would have caught it. So sad. That's all I said. Okay, that is so sad because he's not only a one-time but a two-time divorcee. That means you was not qualified to be giving out any information. But anyways, so I'm
Well,
bringing
he was so angry and always going off on people.
that
That probably was raising his blood
that
pressure every
yeah,
time
that
he
was raising it up
talked.
too. Hypertension out the roof.
I don't mean to make
So
fun of it, but I'm just saying, that makes your blood pressure go up.
it do yelling all the time and going in on people. Goodness. So this one lady, she was like, I'm reading through these comments and I'm so disgusted because at the end of the day, somebody died. So I just posed a question to her and I said, knowing what we know about him from the clips that I watched and things like that, if you, ma'am, passed away, Lord forbid, from hypertension, and you was big enough that it caught media attention and he found out about it, do you think he would care? Or do you think he would make you one of his examples about the women that he talked about? She got upset. Her and another, they got so upset. Oh, you know what? You are being so evil and angry and blah, blah, blah. But why was y'all so mad? I think y'all was mad at the fact that you know that answer. You are sitting here, a lot of them were, you're sitting here on this post trying to defend and stick up for and be so upset at other women or other, because it was guys too, other women, other people for saying how they felt about this man. But based on the question that I asked you, you can't say he would care because he wouldn't. He would probably say that's what she got because these black women be out of shape and they don't like to keep their health up and they don't like to exercise. She's probably overweight and she need to go to the gym and that's why she died from hypertension. He wouldn't have cared.
He
He
would have
wouldn't
said
have gave
that.
two flips about if you passed away from
He'd
hypertension.
be
But
like,
you
"What
are
was her
here,
BMI? What was
yeah,
her BMI when she died?
exactly.
What was her
But you
BMI?"
are here caping and going so upset that I posed this question that you couldn't answer, ma'am. And I said, you know what? That's when I messaged you. I was like, we need to talk about this because at the end of the day, I think it's a deeper issue, not just with picking and pick me about guys, but your unwillingness to defend your own self, your unwillingness to choose yourself, to pick you. This guy was not for you at all. Now it doesn't make me no. Never mind. I'm not celebrating or not celebrating. I just asked you a question. You got mad. But why are you choosing to defend somebody who would not defend you? That's the psychology that I want to know. I will never understand that.
I mean, I don't understand that either. When it comes to that gentleman, he was just a very interesting person that I can't say that I had heard of until he passed away. Maybe I'm just not that much into internet, but I mean, it was amazing how many men knew about him. I'm like, oh, okay, that's who y'all listening to. Oh. So I think about that, and I think about the women that would defend. There's so many mothers out here. It's so many women who are defending men's bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just don't understand that because a lot of the times they're the ones who are being hurt the most by whatever behavior this person is
That part.
doing. And you're still making excuses and defending this person when really it just shows that you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself enough to hold that other person accountable because I know, you know, when it comes to me and my boys that, I will never be that mother that's just going to tell them whatever they want to hear and defend bad behavior. And it's so many of us black mothers that just defend our sons good, bad, or indifferent, right or wrong. And that is not okay. Because because when a man come and treat you that way, you're upset. But you're okay with your son doing it to another woman. And that's not okay. I don't understand that. I can't explain that, Aya. I don't get it. You know, I don't get that, but it's still a problem in our community. And I just feel like, maybe if we would, I know that men, boys, it's quite obvious that they are very sensitive. As macho as they have always been, and and back in the day you tell, don't you cry, you better man up, and the men was there beat on the chest and all. They are very sensitive. They don't bounce back from hurt like we do. They can't bounce back from societal pressures like we do. Like, they go out into the world and they get beat down. We go down to the world, we get beat down, and we come home and get beat down, and we just keep it moving, because that's just life.
Mm-hmm.
And life is unfair. And I just feel that even with this thing with women wanting to be picked, sometimes I look at it and I think that maybe it's because they're searching for love. Love. What is love? We need to do a podcast about that.
We can surely go. We should surely do that.
Because
Our views
I
over the years.
yeah, that that might be the next one, because I got a lot of thoughts on that. And I would just say that they are searching for fulfillment in
Mhm.
another person. A lot of women have gotten to a critical age in their life. Sometimes when you see this behavior comes up where they want children, they've never been married, they want to be married, and so then they just throwing out every trick in the book trying to snag and hook
Mm.
a catch. And, you know, so many men have been gassed up in their head, like to the point of nausea, about the statistic rates of how many women it is to men. And I feel like they have took that to the head. Okay. And they feel that they are the prize, that we should be competing. We should be, if they come and tell you that Annie Sue Boom Shika over here, is their new flame for the week. They expect you to be like, oh no, but what about me? And for you to go harder for them. And like for me, like a person like me, I'm like, oh really? Okay, bye bye. Have fun with that. No, I will not sit here and play survival of the pick me. No, I'm not gonna do it. Like, you gonna go ahead and choose who you want to choose, but I won't be a rotation on the menu. And I just feel like, we gotta make, you got to feel that you are the prize. And I don't feel like you have to play a whole bunch of games to get that point across. I don't even think that you have to go in, and I was guilty of this, stating all your boundaries up front.
Right. Yeah,
Just
no.
don't
Because it's
just
shown.
don't do it.
Yeah. I'm going to show you how to treat me. Like, I could show you better than I could tell you.
Mhm.
But yeah, speaking on what you was, because I got to go back to what something you were saying, because I have posted on our page this thing. Let me pull it up here. About people wanting to find this fulfillment, right? And they're looking for someone to fulfill them. But the thing about that is, I learned this a long time, a few years back or whatever. Um, if you're looking for, nobody can fulfill you. Like, what type of fulfillment are you looking for? Because you may find that, like, a person is not supposed to make you whole. You should already come to a person whole. But this is the thing that I posted about trauma bonding. And it was like a nice chart. So I posted it. And I think a lot of people, they trauma bond and don't create authentic bonds. So trauma bonding is fix me, save me, validate me. That qualifies both men and women as pick me's, right? These types that I need you to validate my existence, make me
Mhm.
feel like I'm worthy or whatever. Chaotic, unpredictable, a roller coaster of emotions. They want to be on that roller coaster, baby. Oh, our relationship is so intense. Like, we be up, we be down, we be all over the place. I've been over that, Jim. I've been, get me off the roller coaster. I need you to complete me. Now, that's like usually a toxic guy's favorite thing to say. Like, you complete me. I need you to fulfill me and to complete me. But I mean, it could be a female's too. And my relationships mirror the pattern of my childhood experiences, and that tends to be true. That's
Mm.
the key that will get you caught up in a nasty trauma bond, is bonding over those childhood traumas. Like, first of all, why do I need to be reminded and triggered all the time of some childhood trauma anyways?
Yes, and don't tell me I remind you of your mother. Okay, I don't want to hear that.
That year, like was it a good relationship or bad? Because
Okay,
depending
that's
on that,
definitely a bad thing.
I don't know.
I don't know
But yeah,
either.
why would I want to bond literally over our traumas? Like, yes, I get the comfort feeling that, oh, wow, this person understands where I'm coming from because they've been there too. I get that part, but that is totally unhealthy to both be triggered together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, authentic bonding is learn about me, see me. See, I want to feel seen. Hold space for all of me. That's a big one for me. Like, that top one right there, I need that. Steady, safe, consistently showing up for each other. That's a good, healthy bonding.
Mm-hmm.
I do the work to my own needs for, yes, please. And this is when we definitely, with men, we tell y'all we are not your rehabilitation centers. I am not your therapist. I cannot heal you. I can't fix you. I can't do it. You need to work on that your own self. And my relationships are based in freedom, accountability, and peace. If you have somebody, like, I never understood the people like, my man don't play about me. He's so jealous over me. Like, that's very oppressed. That's very restricted. That's unhealthy. Because I'm an individual. You're not about to be sitting there thinking that you could tell me what I can and can't freaking do. And when I gotta come in the house, girl, I better be home because he be tripping if I'm not in the house by 10. Why not? I am an adult. I am a grown person. I don't like those relationships, but I really think that get people caught up is not understanding what true authentic bonds are versus trauma bonding.
Mm. That is so good. I think a lot of people confuse bonding with trauma bonding.
Mm,
For instance, for example, you both get out of a very toxic relationship. You're both extremely hurt. You
mm,
start talking about all the things that you went through in the past and how this person hurt you and how you need A, B, C, and D from a new person if you even venture to go there again. And then you guys are both just bonding over, these things and trying. But what you find in the end with that is you start acting just like the person. They
it's
start
like,
acting just like the person you
y'all
tried to
about
get
to be
away
toxic
from.
as hell to each other. Y'all about to be in one toxic love affair. I'm telling you right now. Y'all about to do each other in. I'm telling you, like, no, I would not recommend that. It
But
sounds good at first.
it
I
sounds
get, like I
good.
said, the comfort. I get the comfort feeling. We've all been there where it
Hmm.
just feels comforting to have this person for now. Until after that comfort goes away, then you start seeing the real person and like, oh, like, nah, like, no.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Like this is not it. And then you realize that as much as you was like, oh, they was there for me when I was feeling like this. Then you start seeing clearly. And you like, but you're
Or like
not
that
for me.
childhood thing. You definitely have to watch out for your childhood triggers and know what they are. If you don't know what they are, then maybe you should go to therapy. But you definitely have to watch out for those childhood triggers. Because a lot of pick me's, the ones, especially the types that overdo it, they over exert themselves. They give so much of themselves. Like, I went to his house, I did his laundry today, I cleaned up, like, you doing all this stuff. You're not even a wife.
You're
Possibly
not
not.
even his girlfriend.
I say possibly not even a girlfriend. You just kicking it. And girl, I gotta go over his house. I just did his laundry. I folded them. I did, like, did you not have this when you was a child? Or why are you so like why are you seeking, like, what do they want to call it when them people pleasing? Why are you trying to do everything you can for this person to get his adoration or his love or his respect or to appease him? Like, you did a good job today. Thanks, Cynthia. You did good.
And a lot of times they don't even get a thank you.
Right. Like, what is that doing for you on the inside? It's fulfilling something for you,
I can't do
but
it because I'd be mad. I'd be like, "Did you remember when I came over there and I did like we could just have a whole
you can't even
problem."
say thank you. Like, it's also to your detriment. Or what about the ones who, who, if you've ever felt so low value, like, because we all have been through things as women, especially probably possibly in our younger years or in our teens or in our 20s, and you're navigating this dating world and you're navigating the opposite sex and you're dealing with them, right? And you ever been that girl who just, he call you up at it's 1 a.m. or something, and you so eager to be with this dude, right? But the only time he call you is at this time, but you still take your ass over there just so that you can have a little small ounce of time. You let him do whatever, and then you go back home. And how rotten do you feel on the inside that you just did that? Was it worth it? Because every
Never.
time you value yourself, a piece of you just chips away. Like, a lot of times on girls, you could tell, especially certain girls that I remember, like, or recall along the way over the years, you could just know there's a certain level of like sadness or self-worth things going on there, because you're allowing these guys to do things to use you, to just use you up. But I guess, hey, you was chosen for that day, or
For that night.
for that night.
Um, I just feel like, I just feel like those type of people, they're looking for their self-worth in others, or maybe they don't have self-worth, or maybe, they're hoping that if they overshower someone with all of this times in service and things, that they will eventually wear the person down to where like they love them back or something. But usually that's not the case. Some people are just users and they will just take and drain you dry. And you know at the end of those situations, when it happens, you could, the person will feel like crap, but at the same time, you definitely contribute to your own misery, because you allow that person to use you and treat you that way. And I think that once you get hit, you kind of understand, uh when you can recognize a manipulator, when you can recognize a user, when you can recognize what people are trying to do. Like, now, if you go into it and somebody hits you up at booty call hours and you answer the phone and you decide to go with it, then go with it because you want to go with it. Don't go with it because you thinking that this person gonna wake up in the morning and love you, because that's very rarely, if ever, will be the case. You're muted, Aya. Aya, you're muted.
Yeah, that's true. That's like, it's like, all the things that people have to say about pretty girls and stuff like that. And like, one of those things I remember people saying is pretty girls have the most insecurities. And it's like the same thing, because a lot of these girls, like, that fit under this umbrella, under this stereotype or whatever, you would think that they have everything together. Like, she got her hair done just right. She got a net. Like, she's on point. She is perfect on the outside. On the outside, she's perfect, but that's a hard pill to swallow when you get home at night, every night. That's a hard pill to swallow, to be you. Like, you're not gonna, that self worth that you was talking about, they trying to find, you're not going to, this is to any woman. You're not going to find it in the opposite. You're not going to find it in the men. It's not there. You are not going to find it in them.
Mm-mm.
One day we're gonna do a podcast. Like, you're not going to find on the love podcast. So I'm gonna save all of this for that, but you're not going to find it in them. And I will tell y'all why when we get to that one. But you're not gonna find it there. You have to find it within yourself, because guaranteed, they, like, I keep on telling people, they have your number at the door, because guys are good at like, anybody can see. I can see when a guy is insecure. It's written all over your face, how they act, their behavior. It just shows. It exudes. You feel like I'm challenging you. You feel like I feel superior to you. You're showing these insecurities. You're showing out. You're acting out. You're getting upset. Like this is all things that they do that tells me, oh, he's insecure about something. He has some insecurities. So the guy that never want to take his hat off, and then finally you like take that hat off, and then like, oh, okay, like that he's covering up that insecurity. He's hat fishing, right? So yeah, like your insecurities stick out, but to a guy that's like a radar. That's why certain guys, depending on their insecurities, will go after certain girls, depending on her insecurities. And that's how they pick their that's child. We're gonna talk about that on that love episode because I'm gonna tell y'all a word.
Well, one of the things that I can say with women who are trying to be chose and trying everything they can to get chose is that why? Why are you doing so much? You just doing too much. And you know, it make it hard out here for the woman who like they looking at you like, what did I say last time in the other podcast? Oh, you so hard to deal with. Why you making me wait for it? And why you doing it? Because that's what everybody should be doing for you.
Pretty
Okay? Like,
much.
and my thing is like, if it's so hard over here, go find Miss Easy. It's so many of them.
Mhm.
And eventually, honestly, if you don't do it, they will, unless they are truly of substance. They will just go over there and do that. And just like last time, it ties into our last podcast. You shouldn't be scared to lose somebody. Stop doing all this for somebody who don't deserve it. One day you gotta wake up and be like, why do I even like you? Because you don't deserve any of this.
Right. Right. Is it worth it?
No, it's not worth it. I'm gonna answer that for me. No, that would not be worth it. For the ones that I have seen that I do, I don't find that it's worth it. For the ones that are in relationships doing all that, and then you see what he doing, it still don't be worth it.
You
And
know,
I
it doesn't.
don't
Yeah.
yeah, I don't subscribe to the a piece of man is better than no man at all. I don't subscribe to that melody, that tune. Like I
And
find
that's
so
why these
much more
girls be the
peace.
ones that be so miserable. They be miserable.
They
They
do, and they be so mad at the single chick having all
Yeah,
this
I was
peace.
about to say they be so mad at other women, either the single chick or the woman that's not like you. I'm not freaking doing it. Like, what did Cardi say? I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this right. Like, listen, I'm not doing
But
it.
her man did say she
He
was
said,
lying.
oh, she cook and she clean. Well,
Yes, she
child, listen,
do.
I cook sometimes. I clean, but I cook sometimes. And I don't do a whole lot of plethora, a whole lot laundry list of things that they probably out there doing for less. You don't even got you doing for a boot thing, doing for a booty call. Like, listen, I'm not doing it.
I'm not giving nobody girlfriend behavior if you're not my man. I'm not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't care. Like, I was married for like I was with somebody for almost 2 decades. Like, I'm not pressed. Okay. I know what that I know what being in a relationship is all about. And I know now I'm learning about what being single is about. And so now when you've been there, like sometimes I also feel like sometimes women who haven't ever experienced that, they're so desperate for that feeling. But I'm here to tell you, if it's not right, you won't be happy. Even if you did all of that for that person and finally they decided they was going to be with you still wouldn't be happy because it wasn't genuine on their part. It wasn't genuine. Like you bought that person with your love, affection, or acts of service or whatever you did. Like you
Um,
didn't just get that person to naturally connect with you the way that you want a person to naturally
you know
connect
what?
with you.
As you talking about love languages, I was watching something the other day. I didn't get to finish watching it, but I was watching something the other day, and they was talking about how those love languages could be associated with your childhood traumas,
I
like
could definitely see that.
acts of service. What if you want people, or you would like people to do things for you and do these things for you, and that shows you that they love them, that they love you. I mean, because that was never done to you, done for you as a kid. or words of affirmation in some people's because you was never affirmed as a child. So now you it's important to you and you hold value in somebody telling you and verbalizing constantly and reassuring you all the time. Like I found that interesting. They only got the two of them, but I was like there could possibly
Um,
some there.
I definitely see that that is the thing. Like that makes so much sense. Like the way that you feel loved could definitely be the way that you lacked love as a child. And that's why they actually have the five love languages for children too. I haven't read that book, but I
Mm-hmm.
read the one when it pertains to relationships, and I truly thought that that psychologist, and he's also a pastor, he made so much sense to me. That made so many people walk around in these relationships saying how they're not loved. And the person,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm doing everything I know how to do for them.
Yeah, and it's
And you
not
know, people subscribe to this, oh, treat others how you want to be treated. But guess what? That's not really what you should do. You should love people how they needs to be loved. And it may not be how you feel
right.
love, but you need to give that to them, because then that will make them feel some sort of fulfillment in the relationship, right? Because when we get to that love podcast that we're going to do, I'm going to talk more about how, you know, they talked about how, like, you know, being fulfilled takes a village. Okay, it takes a village. You can't have everything in your significant other, a lover, a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a family. Like that's too much pressure on a person. You have to have certain, you should still have other people within your life that fulfill other things for you and things that you feel for yourself. And that is truly a healthy person that can have a healthy relationship and feel fulfilled, you know. Like I had to learn that myself. And I think that, you know, and when we also talk about that, you know, like I could definitely see how that can tie into your childhood. And also when we talk about that other, I want to dig into deep about, because one of my top love languages is words of affirmation. And when you're out here dating, I was talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, you know, you need to really be careful when your love language is words of affirmation, because you become a target for narcissists.
Yep,
You
because
know,
they
the
will
narcissist,
harm.
they will love bomb, tell you everything you want to hear. You just be basking in it, like, oh yeah.
Oh my god,
And
I
they
thought.
don't mean none of that.
Yep.
They don't
Mm-hmm.
mean a word they
Yo,
say.
I get them. They give me red flags from the like. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, back it up. Back it up. Like wait, because first of all, you coming in a little bit too hot and too heavy, too freaking soon. Back it up. That's for one. Oh, you know I want to do this, and they be so poetic with their words, and they just
Oh, but it feels so good because I what they do first is they
mhm,
study everything you love and you
yeah.
like. So after they find out everything you love, everything you like, everything that makes you tick, then they can love bomb you in all the right areas. And it's almost like you be like, it's too good to be true, but it feels so damn good.
Yep.
But you gotta watch out.
They
Ooh, we
bombard
gonna
you.
have a good love podcast one. But
Yeah.
back to these pick me girls, I just feel like y'all making it hard out here for us who don't feel like they should get everything that they want and we get nothing. I mean, it's just making it hard.
Right. And they lie to themselves. I know you be lying to yourself. Like, stop it. Like, you'll see them on the post, like, well, you know, that's never been my experience. Maybe with child, goodbye. Like, who you trying to convince? Like, child, listen, stop.
That been
Stop
the
it.
experience with what? That they have given more than they've got?
Yeah. Or, you know,
Oh.
maybe you need to change the circle that you run. It ain't my circle. It's everywhere. Like, what is you saying? And even if it's the case that by chance you have always ran into perfect men, never had your heart broken, it was never around your circle, you have had nothing but positive pleasant experiences, go you, yay girl, you so lucky.
And
You still
how old are
don't get
these people saying that? Cause
oh
live a little,
you
live a
still
little.
they lying, that they lying, you see, they lying. You don't get to tell other people their experiences either way, even if that is true, even if okay, let me say she's not lying, you don't get to tell her or whoever else is talking their experiences of these people or relationships that they've been involved in. Just because you don't want to come to reality with the terms and the facts that you have put yourself out here to dry. And I think that's what it'd be. Like that lady who got so mad because I asked her that question, because you know the answer. That man would not give two F's about you. But here you are on Blue Ivy Internet going off about somebody who wouldn't do the same for you, would not even
Well,
help you out in the street. And like, so don't get mad because you are upset because you're choosing to hold that and internalize that, and like you don't want to, you're choosing to oppress yourself, really. You're just choosing to stay in denial. You don't want to face reality. You would rather pretend like everything's okay. That's a hard job. I can't do it.
I find that not everybody has the discipline or the willpower to to really stand up and be assertive, because you don't have to be aggressive to be an assertive person and to
Mhm.
stand up for yourself. You know, I find that us as women, a lot of us women struggle with being assertive, especially
Mhm.
Black women versus aggressive, right? Because anytime you are assertive and you stand up for yourself, you do get side eyes from men, especially, and other women.
And women, yes. Hmm.
Because it's like, I would just talk about my experience. My personal experience, with, coming from a long married life with other married people and whatnot to becoming a divorcee with children, in my late 30s, right? It has been quite a different experience. And I almost feel like I have encountered people who are like mad
Mm.
about my personal life and my choices. Like, how dare you not just sit in that, girl,
And take it. Hmm.
and take it? Because
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do, because
Mhm.
you got chose. So why would you ever want to not be chose? And even men, they think like that. Like, oh, it's
Mhm.
something wrong with you. No, maybe you should be looking at me like, ooh, it's something right with her, because she can actually live in her truth and go live her best life and live free and decide to live happy or be miserable, because it only take one person. You don't need help
Yeah, you don't
to
need
be
help being
miserable.
miserable. I don't need any help. I
Like,
want
if you want to be a miserable, crabby, grouchy
friends.
person, like, you could do that all by yourself, and
All
actually it's
right.
safer that way. You know what I'm saying? You don't need nobody contributing to the funk. So I'm just like, but I really have realized that, like, if you were a person who quote unquote was chose, how
Mhm.
could you want to be unchose?
Yeah,
You
you
know?
breaking the code. You broke the code, the mold, all of that.
And the thing was, um, I feel as, even if from now on,
Mhm.
when you go through things and you really know what it looks like, a lot of times you got to know what you don't want to know what you want. And it's kind of sad to say it like that, like, because you want to know, you want to say that you want all these things, but sometimes what you want is not what you really want. And when you experience those things, it really teaches you about what you don't want, which makes you make more informed decisions in the beginning. But sometimes, like you said, even when you leave a situation, or you find somebody else, then you in this hazy, vulnerable trauma part of your life, and you're trauma bonding with people and making bad decisions. So
Mhm.
that's why I think that it is best to really choose yourself, and because this is a very selfish world, and I think that you have to have self-love when you out here wanting to deal with the opposite sex, or even same sex, or whoever. I mean, I don't know if they deal with different things, but I would think that relationship stuff is relationship stuff, and I would think that, us women, we have to realize that we matter in society as well. Like you said, Aya, collectively over history, if you read, women have always been the brains. Maybe not always the muscle, but definitely the brains, you know? And I just think that we have went to a society now where women just lay down for anything. And I'm just like, what happened?
Child. I mean, yeah. I don't think I just think that's always been there, but I guess maybe now we see it more because you're looking at it through different eyes. Because I think that aspect kind of always been there that we just kind of tolerated it. Because now, if you think about it, guys is in an uproar because it's a lot more of us saying, "Yeah, nah, buddy, yeah, nah, we not doing this, we not doing this, that, and the third." But we still ain't gonna win. We are no competition when it comes to the pygmies. We're not gonna win. We're not gonna
We
win the
never
battle.
gonna win
All
that.
collectively as women come together, just like in that movie. I forgot what movie it was. We all collectively come together, put a band, a lockdown band, stand united, and say, you know what, we're going to choose ourselves first. It blows me, and it will always blow me that we will place higher value of them, of a male, before yourself or other women. It's just crazy. A part of it
Sometimes
is
I
yes.
wonder, do you think it was this glorification of like black love? Because I'm like, there was like a point where it's like it was nothing but single women out here with kids. Like it seemed like in the black community, and it was like a honor to see a two family household. And
Yeah,
then
I
like
mean, it still is. That's still rare. I guess in our community, it's still rare to see a functioning nuclear family, as they call it.
I mean, you'll see people together, but trust it's problems. But I mean, I feel like is it like the pressure of having black love now that why people are
Maybe.
just
But I kind of think, again, we're now approaching a culture where a lot of women are starting to wake up and feeling like, you know what, they kind of sold us like that black love. They kind of sold us down, like they sold this to us and put it in a package in a bow. They made a plethora of black love movies and made you feel like you could acquire that one day. You could have that romance. And Love Jones, you could have. Well, I don't know now. They done canceled Love and Basketball, child. They done canceled. They done threw that
they
movie in the
did?
trash. Yeah. Because if you think about Love and Basketball, now if you go back and watch the movie, you think about what she was a pick me.
Yeah, he
Classic
overlooked her several times.
classic pick me movie, okay? So yeah, we done threw that away. Black Twitter canceled Love and Basketball, okay?
Mm.
But they created all of these movies selling, especially black women, on black love, like you said. And so we went out there trying to find it, trying to search for it. We wanted it. And you probably found somebody and really tried to make them fit into the puzzle piece. They couldn't fit, but you tried so hard and you tried because you wanted to represent black love. You don't want to give up on black love. You don't want to lose hope on black love. Should we could talk about that on a love podcast, but should we lose hope on black love? Do black love exist? I don't know. Or does it exist,
Mm.
but it's just in a different form?
Um, we gonna say that for that podcast
Yeah.
because I could tell that one gonna be a good one because this one leads into that one.
Yeah.
Because clearly, for you to be a pick me looking for attention, you not loving on yourself the way you need to. Okay, you out here looking for love in the wrong places. You gonna be vulnerable, and somebody's gonna see that and take advantage of you. Like just
He gonna pick
just
her, but he gonna pick you for
relax.
all of his reasons.
And yeah, okay, so you got him, and then what? And then what?
Mhm.
Then what? Then is he gonna be the type of person that is gonna still be out here searching for her over there? The
Right.
one that was too hard.
Mhm. Right. Leaving you home night after night, you lonely. He out in the streets. He for the streets. He for everybody.
He for the streets. and you at home with his kids, sad.
Mhm.
Probably at this point they just gave up. You just there for the image.
For the image, girl, you put on that face. Your friends come up, yeah, girl, we doing good, and he like you, and you miserable as heck, but you holding up that image.
You
You
still
gonna hold
having
it
his
up
you still having his babies.
because to some girls, especially, I feel like it's like a certain type, like the popular ones, the popular types, the ones that do put a high value in image and appearances and keeping up with, and putting on for others. I feel like they put this pressure on themselves because nobody cares. Like nobody, like really nobody cares. You put this pressure on yourself
The only
because you're
person
not
I think you
always.
winning is the men. The men be like,
Yeah.
see, she know
Mhm.
what she got. That's why she just stay over there and she ain't worried about what he doing. Cause
And
she
that's
know what she got.
also a manipulative tactic because
And
they're
all us
manipulating
women,
us.
and all us women looking at you like, girl, you's a
Like,
fool for
child,
that.
it's
But
like, child, you're
okay.
not winning. You over there miserable and you're not winning. But hey, you're winning in your eyes. In your eyes, you're winning.
Mhm.
And she's going to uphold that, even if she's miserable or not, because at the end of the day, her and her homegirls remember when she was chasing this guy and she got him. So you
She
best
got
believe.
him.
Yo, you got him, girl. You got him. I got him right here. He chose me. I got the golden ticket, right? So you best believe
Uh-huh.
she
Until
gonna
you turn
uphold
your
that.
back. Until you turn your back. And then probably else somebody else who got him too. I'm just
She
saying.
gonna uphold that all day, even if she miserable. She gonna make sure she stay chose, and she gonna uphold that. It will take him to leave her before she ever be like, "I'm
And
out, Chris."
and the only way he gonna do that is if she cheat on him because they absolutely know it's cheaper to keep her.
Child, yeah. Or he might
It's
even if she think of getting bold enough to, you know what, I'm leaving, I can't take this anymore. He'll use that psychology against her because he know he the prize. And he know that, you know what, you was chasing me. You wanted
yeah.
me.
He
I
like, you
chose
really want to be one
you.
of these single women out here trying to look for another man and you got me?
Turn your
You
head
remember
up.
what you remember we was when we started? Look at me now. You gonna leave what you got now?
Yeah.
Ah! Heard it all before.
Power dynamics. It's called power dynamics. If you're gonna play the game, play the game. Because they damn sure they play the game. They play game on us all they play the game.
I listen. I just listen to what people say, and a lot of times it sound real good, but talk is cheap.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you said, just sit back and listen to them. And a lot of the things that they tell us is fear based. It's based in fear or their own insecurities. Like, oh, who you gonna go to now? You gonna be single. Ain't nobody gonna want you. That's why you single now. You probably lonely and miserable. You gonna die alone. And
Have you
really,
seen what this dating pool is? You gonna find out. You
I
gonna
was like,
find
really,
out.
that's your projection.
That's because they still in it and they supposed to be
Yeah,
your man.
that's
That's why
your
they know.
projection. You lonely. You want to be picked. You want me to pick you, but I'm not. So now it's the problem. I'm gonna be lonely and alone, and I'm gonna die alone.
We gotta look at the whole idea of loneliness in a different way.
Mhm.
You know, become one with oneself. Like, there's been a lot of things that I can say that have been very empowering during my struggles. You know, becoming totally grasping a sense of independence and what I like and what I need to do. And oh my gosh, like, let me tell you, of course, I would like for a man to have to do certain things around the house that are handy, right? I mean,
Mhm.
what woman would? And I guess there's some DIY women who like to do that type of project, but like me, not so much. But I was so proud of listen, my water hose broke. Like how like the part that you spray, it kind of rusted on the end. So it was like, I'm like,
Oh,
oh, it was like the death grip was like nothing I was gonna do to get that off. And I wanted to put my sprinkler on to like water my grass. So I was like, you know what? Listen, ladies, YouTube is your friend.
oh, you got
I
that,
went
baby.
on YouTube, okay, and I was like, how to repair because my hose is like a really good quality hose. It's like probably over two, I don't know, 300 pounds. feet or something crazy, right? And I'm like, those cost a lot of money, like 100 something, 20, whatever. That was like, I got other things to spend my money on. Like, I don't want to spend on no hose. You know what I mean? So I was like, how do you repair a hose? So I went out there and repaired a hose with my long nails and all. Yeah, I did. And I was so freaking excited.
You could do it. You could do it. But yeah, that DIY work is. I'm lazy. You
Right.
got some people who are DIYers, and you got some people who feel value in paying for others to do it. Like I will hire somebody before I DIY. Cause no.
I mean, I just find it sexy for a man to know how to do stuff around the
Yeah, and
house.
they
Like,
supposed. Cause I mean, I don't want to put societal standards on them, but they supposed to be handy.
no.
Yes, I like a handy.
Whatever. They say they find it sexy when we do stuff. I find it sexy when you know how
Yes,
to hang TVs
I
and
want
light
you to
up
be handy.
grills
That is still a good quality to
and
have.
stuff
Like
like that.
that should
Yeah, I
be on
do.
do women say like, yeah, I want guys to be handy. That's one of my qualities that I like. But yes, I like a handy. I like knowing that you
I
can
do.
change a tire, you can grill.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not ever touching a
Mm-hmm.
grill. Nobody in my family, like
Right.
my uncles and cousins used to always grill. So I never had to grill. Like I don't know how to damn grill. I'm
I
pretty
will
sure I can
season the
figure it
meat.
out.
I will
Yeah, I would
season the
season
meat,
it.
have
I
it
don't
on a
know what
whole
to take
platter for
for.
you.
Yeah, exactly. That's my job. I'll prep the meat up and I'll make the salads. The next day you put it on the grill, you sauce it, you do your thing out there. I like, pick up the yard, do the yard work, when grass need trimming and stuff like that. I like that. Go change the filter in the furnace, go change that. Like, yes, handy, yes. I like that.
But maybe that's when the dude's trying to be a pick me. Because you
I
come
can
over
do
here
it.
and you
I can
start
do
doing
it.
all
I can
that.
do
You
it.
in the running. You in the running.
I can
Okay.
do that. They like, yeah, I got you. I can do that. So you need somebody. You need a handyman to come
He
over
like,
here.
oh, I know how to do a lot of things. What else you know how to do?
Oh
What
yeah,
else you
that's
know
when
how
they
to
be
do?
shooting
Hold
their
up. You
shot.
know
Yeah,
some.
that's when they be putting on their little pick me too. You right.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's real scarce. It's real scarce out here because I know the feeling of back in the day. I guess it's not important now,
I feel
but I
like
know
that's
the
the
feeling
older
of back in the
like,
day.
like guys who may be like a little slightly older
Maybe
than us,
we old school, right?
40, 45, 50s. They still be about that. Like they'll
Yeah,
wear a
that's true
suit. The
though.
ones who still wear suits, they the ones.
The ones who suited and booted, they know how to
Yep.
do all that.
Some gators in the closet. Like ask him, you got your you want a pair of gators? He said, yeah, that's the one. That's them the ones. I'm telling you.
Well, if you come around here and you talking about you don't know how to do no yard work,
And you,
you don't
especially
know
you
how
in the
you don't know how
South,
to do no
ain't
grill,
it always it's
like
always a nice warm weather down there? How you don't know how to do this stuff?
listen, I might somewhat give a pass to a New York person because we don't have that much yard, and people be renting and the landlord do it. But when you move down south, you better learn how to do it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I just,
Well, then up here they got a shovel, they got
I just feel
snow
like
blow,
just.
plow me out the driveway when we
Oh,
get
that's even
snowed
worse.
in. Yeah, you need to like it's an all year round job. You need to know how to do
Oh
that.
yes, absolutely. If I
Warm
lived
up
up
my
there and you talking
car.
about you don't shovel,
Yes, child. Who?
you don't what?
Oh, it's
Oh,
someone
okay. Well, then I don't even
it's
need you
someone that
around.
probably
Then
will be
bye.
laying here in the bed, like, huh? Like, go out there and shop. If I gotta tell, I would probably lose. I would
But do
probably
you think it's because we are of a certain age and homeowners and stuff like that? Like, because I don't
no,
know.
because
Like,
how, like, because you just a guy. You should make my life easier as a woman,
you
even if
need to
I
be
didn't
my
own a home.
muscle.
Especially the snow up here. Even if I didn't own my house, if you spend the night at my house and it's a pile of snow out there and we got to get outside and we trying to do, and if you just sitting there and I have to tell you,
You going out there to shovel with him?
no, you better get that
Nah,
shovel
I
or
was about to say.
you better go shovel. If I have to tell you to go shovel, I'm gonna lose it. I will cuss you out. It's
Like you don't even have to get my nails done, but if you go out there and cut my grass, woo! No, just
oh
like,
my god, now that's some old that is some old girl stuff, child. Because you moved on from the
I'm
nails.
on
Like,
now.
listen, cut my
I
grass.
pay for
That's
my own stuff.
impressive. Yeah, right. That's impressive. Cut my grass. Do the
Cut
yard
cut
work.
my
Clean up the back.
grass. Go out there and fire that grill up. What? Oh my
Real.
gosh. I guess you know what? I think that's it's our age because I don't think the young girls probably care about that. They probably like, get my
Yeah,
nails done
anyway,
and
they
my
don't,
hair done.
and that's why a lot of them chase these little young
Mm-mm.
girls because
That's basic.
it's less, it's less on them. It's not as much pressure dealing with the older girls. They could just get her nails done, hair done, and she's straight.
Yeah, that's right. I think
She ain't
that's
gotta
what
do
we.
all this other stuff.
Yeah, I expect like a whole
Unless she
like
a
collect.
homeowner at a young age, and now she like, oh, I need you to do this stuff around the house because I don't want to do it. But yeah,
Yeah, like we be wanting crazy stuff like refurbish my chair or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should be looking for old man. Now that I'm thinking about this stuff, because I'm like
if they
suited and booted.
they done come up on their house are like, oh, you know what? You should try to find like a guy who know about construction. Child, I own the house,
Wow,
a whole
what?
house, owning the house up, but I could just imagine if he knew about construction. You know how to you know how to build a house from the ground up. Oh, that would be such
What?
like, oh my
That's what
god.
I'm saying. But I think that that comes with
Yeah.
experience and you acquiring things, because I would say that my younger self wouldn't have probably cared about that stuff,
Yeah.
like,
No, I wouldn't even thought twice about that stuff.
hmm
I'd
but yeah, I think
get my nails
which
done. Give me some money to get my hair done.
yeah, but then at the end of the day, then they want to marry the young chicks and they be like, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, and they be getting mad about why she want me?
I'm
Not
still
sure.
partying, hot girl summer. They be
Why
gone.
she want to be locked down with you? Why? You trying to knock her husband like child? She's outside.
She
She's
like
outside.
babies. What?
She's
Oh,
in the streets.
absolutely not. I'm snatched. Mm-mm.
Yep, she's
Yeah.
she in the streets.
And
But
we
child,
like, where the stretch mark at? It's good. Got plenty.
all right, y'all. Now we is just playing around, so it's time.
Right, we are. It's time to
Wait.
go.
So y'all listen. The takeaway. I'm gonna start the takeaway. The takeaway for today is I'm going to keep repeating this as many times that it's needed because I never know who's going to come across our pods, who might need to hear it. And so you're going to hear it every single time from me. Choose yourself first, okay? Always bet on yourself and choose yourself first because at the end of the day, it is not worth it. That's my takeaway. That's it. That's the message.
My takeaway is know your self worth. Okay. You know it.
Child.
You also need to know that you can't treat someone else like they're a prize when they're treating you like an option. Okay. You need to make sure that there is reciprocity in your dealings with anyone, with family, with friends, with significant others. And I would say that what tonight's podcast was more about the woman who's looking for all this attention, all this thirst trapping, all your booty in the back, and this and that, and the third, you on social media doing the most. You're not going to get the attention from the type of man that you think that you want. Now, if you want somebody to just come spend some coins and then you here for a good time, not a long time, you definitely gonna get that. That's easy. Um, but if you're looking for something of substance, if you're out here with a purpose, then do say what you mean and do what you say. Like it's just that simple. You don't have to go out like, you ain't about to do this to me, and I'm blah 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 blah. Just simply look for the signs. See he not serious. See he not gonna give that back to you, and know when to cut it off. Even if it hurts, don't get in too deep. Don't get in too deep. Don't get in too deep when you already. If you come in and you want a relationship and he telling you I want to be friends,
Mm-hmm.
pack your bags and go.
Oh, that's
That's what
good.
I take away from that.
That's a good one. That is a good one. So, you guys, on that note, I'm going to say love yourself first. Bye.
Hey.